What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am the Physical Media Mac, Tight White's twin brother. And yes, Tight White is the Chuck Norris of the family, and I am the Mike Norris. But the Physical Media Mac, the PMM, is rocking the ZOOLANDER today. And nobody rocks the ZOOLANDER like the PMM. All right, guys, let's get started on the pickups here. We'll start with the cream of the crop here. Howling 2, the epic werewolf film. Now, this came out in 1985, and, you know, the greatest man in the history of this earth, Reb Brown, is in it. You got Sybil Danning in it. I mean, is there anyone hotter than Sybil Danning back in the day? I mean, literally, I can imagine having sex with her as like having sex with a volcano. She's so friggin' hot. It's got Christopher Lee in it. Now, this film, and I had forgotten because it's been so long since I watched it, might have the greatest song for a B movie. Not even a B movie. This might have the greatest song that was made for a film in the history of film, guys. And that is Howling by the new wave band Babel. And it says with Steve Parsons. It is unbelievably good. It echoes through every moment of this fucking film. And, you know, in retrospect, I'm just wondering how... I'm not even sure if Sybil Danning showed her breast in the actual film. But then when the credits roll, they do a loop montage of her pulling out her breast left and right, and you're like, whoa, wow. You know, you're just blown away. I was blown away by her breast. She's got grade A kaboonga knockers, guys. Now, this movie is batshit nuts. It throws everything at you. It has dwarfs, werewolf orgies, witchcraft, Reb Brown, Christopher Lee. I love it. I adore it. I know it gets its hate. I know it's top tier when it comes to one of the greatest, one of the worst movies that is actually so bad that it's good. It's right up there with the top tier of those films. And yeah, it makes me want to collect more Howling films. I think I have Howling 2. I got the one that they filmed in the castle, which is badass. It might be Howling 4. So I'm still missing quite a few Howling films. I might have 3 Howling films now. I need to go back and check. But yeah, doesn't get any more epic than this, guys. Check it out, Howling 2. Now the next film that we're going to talk about is an interesting one because I've never seen the first film, but I just received it off of Whatnot like, I don't know, like a week ago. So I am going to watch it, and we are going to talk about it in the next pickups video. But when I was checking out reviews, like the Hidden itself, that the first movie is considered like a classic. If not a classic, then a cult classic. And when I was reading reviews, the Hidden 2 just gets shit on by so many people. But not having seen the first film, I gotta say, man, I really enjoyed The Hidden 2. Great practical effects, great action sequences. Love the sci-fi B-moviness of it. It really had a nice vibe to it. You can see some of the special effects in the back there, quite possibly, if I can frame it correctly here. I can't see what I'm showing you. Part alien, part human, and it's back for seconds. Now, I had no point of reference. Like I said, I've never seen the first one, but I thought this was a really good production, the way it was presented with all the special effects and whatnot. Good alien cheese, guys. Really up there with like something like Scanners 3. Not Scanners 3. What am I thinking of? Is it Scanners 3 I'm thinking of? Not Scanners 3. Anyway, I can't think of it. Who does this have in it? Is it Kyle MacLachlan? Let's see. Oh, maybe he just looks like him. I'm not sure. All right, next up here. Got to keep our pace here. I recorded the first 20 minutes of this damn video and had to re-record this shit, so it's really pissing me off. I was laying the Laserdisc on top of the dashboard, and then I got a phone call, and I was like, let me check out the sound quality, because the dashboard can vibrate and make noise sometimes. So I guess every time I was putting a Laserdisc on the dashboard, you're hearing this tick, 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 this annoying noise. So now I'm pissed off. I got to record this whole thing over again. I was about like 7 Laserdiscs through the video, and we're doing it again, guys. All right, next up here, Black Scorpion. Pretty epic shit here, guys. I just learned about this like recently when someone was running it on Whatnot, and as soon as I saw the cover, I knew I had to have it. Now, the cool thing about this is my homie, Arizona the Movie Guy, has a factory sealed copy of the one that's even more obscure than this, Black Scorpion 2, and he is sending it to me. We have worked a trade out, which I'm trading him. Well, I won't say what it is. I'll let him say it if he makes a video or whatnot, or talks about it in the Discord. But I sent him a really cool Laserdisc to get part 2 of this. So, now I have I gotta figure out if I'm gonna pop the seal on it or if I'm gonna sell it and buy a used copy. I don't know. I'll probably just pop the seal on it, man. It is what it is. I want to see the part 2 after seeing part 1 of this. Now, if you've ever seen Batman, the one with Jack Nicholson in it, Jim Carrey, the cheesy Batman movie, this reminds me of that. You can't take it too serious. It's very cheesy. The baddie in this, his name is the Breathtaker, it looks like a bootleg copy of like the worst Power Ranger villain of all time. So that part is hilarious. And yeah, so just to tell you like the premise of this, or the synopsis on this, she's a young girl. Her dad is a police officer. He gets into a police chase with these guys, a shootout, ends up having to escort them to the hospital. In the hospital, one of them breaks free, grabs a gun, and her dad starts shooting at these guys in the hospital and shoots a doctor and almost kills him, to the point where he needs to be hooked up to a machine. He's not, close to death on his last breath. Now, he's called the Breathtaker, so yes, pun. And so later on, the Breathtaker comes back, and he's wearing this ridiculous, silly looking suit, like I said, and he hires a politician to kill her dad. And then then all of a sudden she becomes and she gets fired from the police force as well. And then once she gets fired from the police force, her dad's dead. She turns into the Black Scorpion. Joan Severance is a fire show in this. She's every inch of 5'10" in this, all legs and breast. And they do show her kaboonga knockers, full frontal, bouncing on a bed in slow motion. It is one of the greatest things I've ever seen on film. She is hot as hell, guys. And it's not just that she's smoking hot. She also has a great personality, charisma. She's good on screen. I like her as an actress. If they used a different actress in this film, it might not have worked. So shout out to Joan Severance. And yeah, Justice Has a Nasty Sting. Black Scorpion. I didn't take notes on this. I can't think of the black guy's name in this, but he's really good. He plays an ex-con who helps her out, gets her this black Porsche, and somehow able to add like police computers to it, and like turns it into like a superhero car. And yeah, I recommend this. I can't wait to see part 2. Now, at first I thought this was like a TV series adapted to film, but I was wrong. This is a standalone movie that came out. A couple years later, part 2 came out, and then later on, there was a, I think, short-lived TV series. So there must have been some popularity to this, because, you know, why would they have made so many iterations of it? All right, enough on that. All right, let's get this one out of the way real quick here. Now, this was directed by the shithead Victor Salva, which obviously did some horrific things. I'm not going to get into the details of it because I don't have the information in front of me right now. But allegedly, some stuff happened to the kids in the film, before the film, in the film, and after the film, allegedly. And yeah, the guy's a real piece of shit. Great director, piece of shit human. But Clownhouse is a good killer clown film. And I actually made the mistake of doing some research on what actually happened with the director. And I don't recommend you do it. I mean, it's pretty sick. And also, what's interesting is Francis Ford Coppola let him use his house in the Napa Valley to film a lot of this. So it's on set in Francis Coppola's house. And apparently Francis Coppola is a defender of Victor Salva. So he's another shithead, piece of shit. But yeah. Now, knowing all that I know that occurred, watching the movie kind of hit me different this time. I like felt for the kid in the movie more and wanted him to you know, survive and kill these stupid clowns in the film. But yeah, man, extremely infamous film. Killer clown shit. You know, there's some real bad shit that goes on in Hollywood. All right, next up here, I really don't want to make an hour film, guys, today. Try to get through these, try to talk less. All right, man, this was an absolute banger here, guys. 1996, starring David Keith. Now, if you remember that name, he was in The Officer and a Gentleman with Richard Gere, and he won Best Supporting Actor in that film, or he was nominated for it. We also have Martin Kove, who's a B-action legend, one of my favorite schlock actors of all time. Now, David Keith plays Joseph Meeker, and I'll go ahead and read it, which is a you know, a sociopath that gets put in the electric chair and killed. I'll go ahead and read the synopsis on the back of it. David Keith stars as Joseph Meeker, a convicted killer who comes back from hell to wreak havoc on those who bear his curse. Not even an electric chair could stop his lethal revenge. One man, Michael Savano, Martin Kove, can bring justice to this immortal killer who acts on his own, judge and jury. Now, this is an extremely ambitious film for some low-budget B stuff, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, if you remember like the later Nightmare on Elm Street movies where Freddy Krueger used the dreams, and like Freddy Krueger all of a sudden would be like a doctor, or he'd be on stage and a spotlight would be on him. This has tons of that in there. This is very supernatural. He comes back from hell after being executed to get revenge because things are left undone. Where in the beginning of the movie, there's a it's almost like a Bonnie and Clyde thing where he's the bad guy. He's got this girlfriend that he's in love with, and they're robbing a liquor store in the beginning. Martin Kove's character comes in and ends up, what you think happens, you don't really know until the end of the movie, shoots his wife and kills her, and then he gets taken to jail and ends up getting executed. So the reason he comes back from hell is to get revenge on Martin Kove and the other police officer that was helping Martin Kove at the time in the liquor store. Now, again, supernatural stuff where he's like, you know, acted like he's a gymnast and a chef. There's so much hilarious stuff that goes on in the film. Now, Martin Kove's character in the beginning is like he's one of those dads that's in the bench watching his son play football, and he's yelling at the coach, you're coaching wrong, and gets in a fight with the coach in the beginning of the movie and makes an ass of himself to the point where his wife leaves him, his son hates him. So there's like all these football analogies in the movie, which is so funny. And then towards like the end of the film, they actually have football sequences where they put gasoline all over a football, and his son throws the football to Martin Kove and he catches it. It's like this dramatic scene, and David Keith's character is like in the top of this building, and he has to throw the football through the building where like there's tear gas, there's like gas that they rigged, so the whole building blows up. It's so fucking epically badass. This is one of my favorite surprise movies to watch in a long time. Definitely trash or trash adjacent. Judge and Jury. Check it out, guys. I know you will enjoy that shit. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your Saturday. Let me see how the Zoolander's holding up over here. It's a thing of beauty, boys. A thing of beauty. All right, what do we got here? All right, 1996. We have Little Witches, which is the Craft ripoff, which I'm all for ripoffs, guys. It's some of my favorite films of all time. Indie. This is basically it's a little indie horror flick, guys. Can't remember where I got this off. I wasn't very happy with the cover. It was very dirty. And I wiped it down with a wet wipe and cleaned some of it. It still has some staining on it, but it is what it is. You buy shit off of Whatnot, who knows what you're going to get. But it plays fine, which is great. And listen, this movie's not winning any awards or anything. It's not as good as The Craft for sure, but I thought it was a fun film. I do recommend it. I think it's highly collectible, being a Craft ripoff. And it says, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned," or "For I am sin." Now the crazy thing about, let me just read the synopsis real quick. When an ancient book of spells transforms 6 naughty Catholic girls into a sexy coven of witches, all hell breaks loose. Witness the evil craft of little witches as they execute their devilish deeds. Now, what is it? Sebastian Bach? I can't remember her name. The one from The Craft? They copy her face right here. Isn't that her name? Something Bach. Sebastian Bach? I can't remember. The badass chick in the Craft. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That looks like her completely. So they're definitely trying to pull in Craft fans into this film. Now, what makes this really crazy, guys, this is like The Craft, like I said, but it's like a naked Craft. There are, if you look at all 6 of these Catholic girls, you got an ugly girl, a hot girl, a fat girl, a bony girl. You got every different denomination of hotness to coldness going on. And if somebody were to tell me at the beginning of this film, hey, you see that fat girl right there? She's going to get naked. I'd be like, come on, man. Are you serious, bro? The hot chicks are going to get naked. That's what movies do. The fat chicks don't get naked in movies like this. No, I'm wrong. Everybody gets naked in this film. There's all kinds of rituals going on, satanic rituals, where they're wearing masks and dancing around this cauldron, and everybody is butt naked, guys. I mean, this is bordering on educational type of filmography here, guys. Crazy nudity going on in this film. It's hilarious. There's some fun shit. I wish there was like better kills in there. There's one really cool kill with fish hooks and fish lines, but there's not enough of that. Because like when you have witch powers and stuff, you should have like lots of badass kills. There wasn't enough of that going on in it. But I think it's a keeper. I might watch it once again one day. All right, next up here. This is something I watched recently, and I haven't watched this in a long time, guys. This is a crazy one right here. I bring you 1989, The Fly 2. Now, let's talk about this. The OG Fly with what, Vincent Price, right? That's a classic, right? That's considered a classic. Not a cult classic, but a classic. You know, cult classic and mainstream classic, like all around classic, right? The Cronenberg Fly, which I think, well, that was a remake, right? That is considered a classic, all around classic. Now, I don't know about the Vincent Price sequels, if there were sequels back in the day, the black and white stuff. I don't know if those are considered classic, cult classics, but I forgot about this movie. And it's not a classic. I wouldn't call it a classic, but, and furthermore, I'm watching this film, and probably the first 45 minutes of the movie, somewhere around that point, I'm thinking, this is kind of a movie that shouldn't have even been made. Like, I'm not enjoying it. And I'm really thinking to myself, this is kind of a waste of my time. Is this going to be like the only, I think I only told you one movie was bad, right? And 3 videos showing off 100-something Laserdisc, and that was Operation Genesis. This is going to be number 2. And then so let me just explain this real quick. So basically, this is Jeff Goldblum's son, who's born at the beginning of the movie, and is kept in a test lab. So from birth all the way up till he's 20-something years old, right? And it's played by Eric Stoltz, which I like. So then, when he's in his 20s, he starts the transformation into an actual fly monster. And once that happens, guys, once the final transformation is had and he's an actual monster, this film is as epic as fuck. I would say this is a better monster movie than the Cronenberg Fly film. It is so badass. It's so well done. He turns into this terrifying fly monster. I don't think you can even see it on it. You can see part of his body on here, if you can see that. And like so in the center of this test facility are the 2 portals that you'll remember from the Cronenberg. You put, a rabbit in one, it's supposed to transport to the other one. So basically, Eric Stoltz's character, which is the son of the Fly, takes over trying to master that and trying to figure out the problems that they're having with it. And so that's in the center of this test facility. Well, everybody kind of like goes into that area towards the end of the movie or around that area, and then the fly monster is on the loose, and it's killing security guards and everybody in the facility that tries to stop it, and it's trying to get into the center of the test facility. And there's this sequence where they open the door to the middle of that test facility, and they can see the fly. It's shot so fucking well. You can see down the corridor from the door, and the fly's like just ripping someone apart. And then all of a sudden, the fly just throws that person, and it propels down the hallway, and they shut that door, and you can hear a boom, a thud against the door, and it's like, holy fuck, this is scary. This is one of the best monster films in the 3rd act of any monster film in a long time. Don't sleep on The Fly 2, guys. Long, dragged out, slow burn in the beginning. I almost was ready to give up on it, and then holy fuck does it turn around. Good shit, guys. Check it out. I'm telling you. Oh, and the fly effects where the fly, because I guess flies vomit on. You've seen some of that in the Cronenberg one, where he's killing somebody and throwing up that white shit all over their body and dissolving them. This is a really gory, like nasty, disgusting film. It's done so well. The practical effects in this film are top notch. I can't say enough about it, guys. See how excited I'm getting? I'm spitting everywhere. Really good kills in that one, guys. Now, it's funny, I was mentioning this to some of the people in my Discord, and they were like, oh, we've never seen that. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you're not a horror fan, because this is one of the most classic anthologies of all time. Was not very happy with the condition of this either. I'm not sure who I bought this off of, but I'm not sure if that's faded sun-drenched coloring there, or maybe that's the actual color palette. I'm not sure on that. But anyway, John Carpenter's Body Bags, where he stars in the wraparound as a mortician, and basically they're telling the stories of all the dead people in the mortuary, which is really cool. Now, this is also directed by Tobe Hooper. So an anthology directed by Tobe Hooper and John Carpenter, who are at the top of the fucking top tier horror directors at the time. This is so classically badass, guys. You have to check this out. It's got 3 stories here. One's of a gas attendant who a psychopathic killer is trying to kill her at the gas station, which is so good. You got this one where the guy's obsessed with his hair, getting fake hair. It's so good. And then you got one starring Luke Skywalker over here, where he loses his eye and gets an eye transplant, but the person he gets the eye transplant from is a killer. Yeah, it does not get any better than this as far as anthologies are concerned. These lasers are going to start honking my horn in a minute because there's so many of them. I have nowhere else to put them. I think there's dog hair in the back of my car. All right, so I mentioned earlier, Operation Genesis is literally out of 100 Laserdiscs. The only one I told you. It sucks. Not anymore, guys. Holy fuck, man. Shadow Zone. The Undead Express, starring Ron Silver. Next Stop Hell. This is one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. It is deplorable how bad this is. 1996 Showtime movie. I mean, picture like a long, overstated, dreary episode of Goosebumps. But Goosebumps characters were actually likable characters, the kids. Not one kid in this film is likable. You want all of them to die. I think probably 45 minutes into this movie, the only thing that wait a second, is this? Yeah, these are vampires. The only thing the vampires have killed is rats. And you're like, are you kidding me? They have not killed a human yet 45 minutes into the film? It does get a little bit better in the third act, but I mean, it's nothing I would ever recommend to anyone. There's nothing I like about this movie. It is that bad. Don't watch it. Trust me, it sucks. Question for my Laserdisc peoples. Do you guys, if it has plastic sheathing on it, do you guys still put it in plastic protective? I do. All right, next up here. Now, I've been known to say this quite a few times. I must own every movie with Force in the title. And now I own Solar Force with our boy, Michael Pierre. Pierre, how do you say his name? Pierre. All right, now it's Pierre. I even wrote it on the back. I always get confused on how to pronounce his name. Probably the best shit he did was, what's the movie where he's, Streets of Fire. His acting really wasn't that good in Streets of Fire. He's not really that good of an actor, to be honest with you, but that's probably one of the most epic films he's ever made. And I've become a big fan of his over the years. I definitely need to be Michael Pierre complete on Laserdisc, guys. Everybody loves Billy Drago. He's one of the best bad guys of all time. He's the baddie in this one. Now, there are cyborgs in the film as well, and I'm a huge cyborg fan. Now, this is basically a Mad Max ripoff in the desert. And Michael Pierre and this colony lives on the moon now because of the drought down on the Earth. And he is sent by the colony to acquire some kind of potion or something they've created to bring, rain to the land. And so he goes down there. They basically tell him that everybody that's living on the earth, that this colony of people are evil, but he finds out that they're actually good people. So he turns on the colony in the moon and joins forces with these good people on earth, and falls in love with one of the ladies in the tribe. Now, there's a surprise ending to this film, which is pretty shocking. Like, I did not see it coming at all. And it's very strange as well, but very unique ending. I'll just say it like that. I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, man, Mad Max, desert ripoff, and I would recommend it for sure. I must own like 30 movies with Force in the title. All right, let me get a sip here. All right, another extremely unique film. And shout out to Sammy, my boy in the Discord. Sammy the Media Man. And Geiger might get jealous, so shout out to Geiger too, if I mentioned Sammy too much. But Sammy sent me this. Fair Game. When play turns to prey time. Now, if you research Fair Game, you will find a plethora of Fair Game movies, guys. So it is very easy to get confused. Now, I'm glad I did get confused, though, because there's a Fair Game Australian film that's like a sexploitation survival movie that I definitely want to check out, that I learned about when I was trying to figure out this movie. Now, this one right here is, let me see. This is a 1988 Italian-made movie, and it's also referred to as Mamba. Because, yes, this is a killer snake film. Now, what is so strange about this movie, I want to talk about this for a second here. Okay, this is a killer snake movie. Do you see a snake on the cover, guys? No, there's no snake on the cover. Do you guys see a snake on the back cover? No, there's no snake on the back cover. I watched the trailer to this. Theoretically, there is no snake in the trailer to this. How in the fuck is this even a snake movie? It is. It's a snake movie. It's unreal. I've never seen a movie unpublicized as much as this film. And that's what makes this so obscure, so badass, and so collectible. Now, what else? Bill Moseley's in this film as well. The main guy in this film, which is right here with the shades on, he's been in a lot of stuff. Nothing too prominent or whatever, but I think he plays a really good psychopath in the film. Not sure if I have his name written down here. Probably don't. Let me see. Might be Greg Henry. Yeah, I think it's Greg Henry. That's his name. But anyway, in the beginning of the movie, Greg Henry goes and meets with Bill Moseley's character and buys a black mamba snake for $5,000. He owns the black snake for like 5 minutes and already gets the black snake to kill Moseley. Then you find out that his girlfriend has left him recently, so he goes and pays a visit to her. A real uncomfortable scene where they're going back and forth and fighting and stuff, and she's basically saying it's over, and he's like, no, it's not over at all. And the next thing you know, he somehow locks her in the house, which is pretty unbelievable. And apparently her house is like off the beaten track, so she cuts her phone lines. And what I did not see revealed in the film at all is that he was a video game developer, which is kind of cool and makes more sense with what happens in the film. But I did not see that mentioned. I found that out, I think, on a review after, or Wikipedia or somewhere. But locks her in the house with this black mamba that he's just purchased, and has this, you know, futuristic surveillance system set up, which almost looks like the monitor he has almost looks like a video game, where it shows where the snake is at all times and it tracks her. And that's it. The movie is the black mamba chasing this woman around the her condo or house the whole film. And I love it. It's pretty fucking badass, man. I gotta admit. And about as obscure as a title as you're gonna find. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this one is not that expensive. I would jump on this immediately and purchase it if you're into some bizarre shit. Very unique. Not too many movies like it. Definitely some TWT. Tight white trash. All right, another good one. God damn, there's so many good films here. All right, next up here we have The Companion. Bought this off of Whatnot. Only could tell that his face is half like Android, so I was like, okay, this might be right up my alley since I love cyborg and Android films. It says she wanted the ultimate man. She created a living terror. Now, let me see. This came out in 1994. The android in this film is played by Bruce Greenwood. You can look him up. He's been in tons of movies. Brian James is also in this film. B-movie legend. And I don't need notes for this. I'm just going to explain this to you guys. Put this inside real quick here. Oh yeah, I forgot. Bryan Cranston is in this, isn't he? Yeah. Is he even mentioned on this? That is so crazy. He's not even listed on here. This must have been Bryan Cranston before he became famous. But anyway, he cheats on his wife. So this book writer, she's a book writer. And then at the beginning of the movie, Bryan Cranston's cheating on her. She comes home and finds them in bed together. And she tells her girlfriend, I need to get away. I got this cabin out in the woods. I'm going to write a new book. Kind of like Stephen King goes away and writes books and stuff. So her friend's like, I don't want you going alone. You've just been hurt by, you know, your ex or your hubby. And you really need someone there. And apparently, like, this is in the future. So they have this laboratory now where you can rent or purchase companion pieces, which are female or men that at this point they look human, they act human, but it's kind of like buying cable. Well, a long time ago. This is probably a bad reference now, but like 15 years ago, you could get the Showtime package or the HBO package or just basic cable. So she goes and decides to get a male companion to go on this trip with her, which is an android. And the guy's like, do you want the sports package where he can swim, and do you want the package where he could, make love? And I don't know if he mentions that, but all these different packages. She's like, no, I just want the basic package. So anyway, she meets him. She's attracted to him. She's like, wow, this is a handsome android. They go off together in this cabin in the middle of nowhere so she can start writing this book. And, she's never been with an android before. It's weird. Like, she'll wake up in the middle of the night, go to the kitchen to get something to drink, and the android will just be pacing in the kitchen and scare the fuck out of her. And she's like, what are you doing? Don't you sleep? And the android's like, no, I'm patrolling the perimeter of the house. And so anyway, she's like, she wants him to be more human. So she starts reading the instruction booklet and doing all these upgrades on the android. And the first upgrade, because, like, for example, they meet Brian James and this female character, and they're supposed to go out and have dinner with them. Well, he's an android, so he doesn't have good conversation at the table. You can tell, like, something's not right. So she decides to upgrade him to make him more human. So she does one upgrade. He becomes more human. She likes it. And then later on, she's like, you know what? I kind of want to get with this guy. He's kind of attractive. So she does another upgrade on him. So she keeps on doing these upgrades on him to make him more and more human. And then at one point, he's like literally like burping and drinking beer. Like, he's totally human. He has no manners anymore. He's like an absolute asshole of a guy. But he's obsessive as hell. He doesn't want her doing anything. He doesn't want her leaving the house. Her girlfriend is worried because her phone's been off for months. So she shows up at the cabin and she's like, what's going on? And the girl's like, nothing's going on. And then all of a sudden he shows up, and then she's like, you're having sex with him, aren't you? And she's like, she's like, no. She's like, you are having sex with him. And basically he tells her to leave. And then now that he feels like in danger, like people are going to stop their relationship because the girl like made some threats before she left, he tracks her down before she leaves and kills her. And then it turns into a killer android film, and it becomes really badass. There's a lot of slow burn stuff in this. There's not really too many kills, but there's enough to keep it interesting, and it has a very interesting ending to the film. I won't ruin it anymore, but yeah, cool killer android film that I would definitely recommend. Hopefully I explained that good enough. Geez, how many lasers do we have left? We're getting there. All right, next up here we have another good film, man. I think I've seen this probably back when I was a kid, but it's been a long time. The Unborn. Now, I lump this in with The Suckling as far as fetus exploitation. I'm probably making that term up, but that's my term. Fetus exploitation films. The Suckling is very similar to this. If you've not checked out The Suckling, definitely go and check it out. And fetus exploitation is basically where in the movie you get an abortion, and in The Suckling they flush the fetus down the toilet, and then when it was in the sewer system, toxic waste, a barrel like fell over and fell into a storm drain, and toxic waste dripped onto the fetus, so it turned into a mutant. It's like the greatest storyline of any film I've ever even talked about before. Well, this one, I'm getting a little too far ahead of myself, but they go and see this doctor, right? They're having problems having a baby. James Karen is the genetic specialist that helps people that have been told by other doctors that they can't have babies, because he like messes with the DNA and does all kinds of mad scientist type of shit. If you don't know James Karen, he was one of the main characters in Return of the Living Dead. That's what he's probably most famous for. I think he was in Poltergeist as well. Now, so basically, he helps inseminate. He helps her have a baby, okay? I can't even say the word. And she starts noticing all kinds of weird stuff happening, and she finds out through doing her research that this doctor's trying to create this this hybrid, like, superior race of superhuman, super smart beings. And so eventually she decides to get a just like the suckling, she goes and gets basically a hanger, like one of those type of abortions where they stick a hanger and pull the fetus out of you, which I don't even know is a real thing. If that was like a real thing one day, it's kind of crazy. But I think the suckling had the hanger abortion, and she had the hanger abortion in this one, I believe, as well. And so the only difference is they end up throwing the baby in a dumpster. And then, but she starts having regret and remorse for doing that. So she goes back and gets the baby out of the dumpster. And then after that, all hell breaks loose. And now all of a sudden we have this mutant monster baby. It's so crazy. Good shit, man. I really enjoyed this one. See if you can see a picture of the baby back there. It's a new generation of terror. I love killer doll films and killer baby films, man. It just does not get any better than that. How's my hair doing, by the way? God, I make this shit look so good. All right, another crazy movie, man. Like, every movie that I've been watching has just been hitting it out of the park. It's so crazy. I mean, I got an eye for movies, man. I'm telling you right now. All right, now, I don't consider myself a basket case aficionado. You got to remember, I've watched Basket Case, the first film, probably about 30 minutes into it. I've never finished watching it. I've never seen part 2. So I'm going into this film blind, but I am going to go out on a limb here after watching this. This is definitely the craziest, most insane addition to these 3 films, and probably the best one, because this was just absolutely nuts. And wow, what a production in this film, guys. I'm telling you right now, the cast of characters in this movie is right up there with, like, Clive Barker's The Nightbreed. Probably even better. There's at least 100 different freaks in this film. Different freaks in. I can't even imagine how much money it cost to make this film. The production cost must have been insanely high. Really well done. The practical effects in this movie are so good. It's just a batshit crazy movie. From the beginning of the movie to they roll the credits, like, it's insane. At first, like, I've mentioned this before, Evil Dead 2 were so good. Then when they made Army of Darkness, I like Army of Darkness, but I don't like the way it changed. I don't like the comedy, how it went too much comedy. This one does go, I'm sure, way more comedic than the first one, but for whatever reason it works with this one. I have no problem with the route they took on this. Basket Case 3, definitely check it out, guys. I'm running out of steam here. It is like 1:31. I've not eaten lunch yet, but I want to get this video up. The more I procrastinate, the more it's never going to happen. So, all right, we've talked about Body Bags, which is a great anthology, right? Well, let's go into a not so great anthology, although I still kind of like it. Future Shock. Now, yeah, horror anthology. It's got Martin Kove in it playing a psychiatrist that uses virtual reality as his therapy methods. So Martin Kove is in the wraparound of the story. He's not in the individual stories. And you have 3 stories. Well, The first one is, and by the way, who is the chick that's in this? Oh, Bill Paxton is in this as well. Vivian Schilling is smoking hot. I think she's on the cover right there. The first story is her trapped in this house by herself. There's like a thunderstorm going on. She's scared, and all of a sudden these pack of dogs show up trying to kill her. Pretty good. Did not mind that one at all. I thought it was good. The third story in this was kind of formulaic. I think I've seen it many times before. It's kind of a take on a guy being scared of leaving his house because he's scared of all the factors that might kill him and stuff. It's pretty good. The second one with Bill Paxton is one of the worst additions to an anthology I think I've ever seen. It's so bad. I don't know what they were thinking, but as a collector's piece, I kind of like it. Brian James just has a cup of coffee in this film. He's not really in it too much. He's the husband of this girl going off to work. You see him for a very short time. So they're kind of like put in the forefront, Brian James and Martin Cove, but they're not, you know, they don't play huge roles besides the wraparound with Martin Cove. But it's decent. Not the best anthology of all time, but I got some enjoyment out of it. God, I'm a hot, sexy motherfucker. All right, next up here. Yeah, I'm about to honk the horn. I got a lot of weight now on this horn now. It'll happen before the end of this video. Mark my word. All right, next up here. Now, I mentioned how I love my Killer Baby and Killer doll movies, guys. And this is a Chucky ripoff, Child's Play ripoff here from 1991. And basically a family moves to New Mexico to open a factory to manufacture Dolly Dearest dolls. And then something's going on in the mines close to that area where I think Rip Torn plays like a Spanish character. It is with a terrible accent. But anyway, in these mines, they uncover this demon spirit, and the demon spirit escapes from the mines, enters the factory or the house where one of these dolls is, and possesses the doll. So once they move into their house over there and start, you know, living in New Mexico, the daughter, it's a father, mother, and a daughter. The daughter does a really good job in the film as well. But she befriends this doll and it becomes her like favorite doll. And then of course the doll is possessed. So it starts, you know, manipulating the girl, turning her on her family, turning her against the Mexican housekeeper. And this is really a bad movie, but it's so bad that it's actually fun. Definitely not as good as Child's Play, but man, I had some fun with this one. I mean, killer doll films are like right up my alley, man. I love killer doll, like Pinocchio's Revenge, this film, what else? There's so many good ones. There's not an insane amount of good kills in this one, unfortunately. It's more of the hilarity, how funny the film is. I laughed so many times watching this movie. The doll character is so funny in this film. I mean, oh man, this movie is a fucking blast, man. So watch at your own devices. I mean, be advised. You might only like it, but I think I love it, to be honest with you. Dolly Dearest. Put the condom back on this. All right. Looks like we got 3 Laserdiscs left, guys, and I can go eat lunch and watch Whatnot videos. All right, next up here, we got the smoothest operator in the business, Billy D. Williams, in 1987's produced and co-directed by Larry Cohen, Deadly Illusion. Now, I don't know the story behind this, but Cohen produced this. Cohen co-directed this. Halfway during the movie, he got the boot or had to leave or something. I don't know what it was, but he missed, like, the other guy directed the rest of the movie. And, you know, this is a really good action film. There's lots of good action sequences in this film. It's got a helicopter in it. It's got fire on the cover and a helicopter, so it checks those boxes. You don't know how many times I've watched an action film and it had no helicopter. And when that box is unchecked for me, it's kind of, I don't know. I kind of, I feel unfulfilled, to be honest with you. Now, in this movie, Billy D. Williams' character, it's very weird. Billy D. Williams' character is a private eye who hangs out in this diner and gets clientele, does side jobs, and a businessman walks in and offers him $100,000 to kill his wife. And Billy D. Williams accepts, but then decides to help the woman. She ends up dying anyway, and then he's framed for her death by this conspiracy thing that's going on. There's all kinds of triple crossing and double crossing going on in the film. But it's odd because Billy D. Williams' character is the protagonist, and how are you going to like him if he was going to kill some woman for money? It's really bizarre. But Billy D. Williams is so smooth that you actually get over it and you actually like him. Now, this has Vanity in it. I'm not sure if too many chicks were hotter than Vanity back in the day. She is so beautiful. Now, who else is in this? You got Morgan Fairchild in it as well. I would say this is a good film. I don't know if I'd watch this again. I'm kind of on the fence on that. But I could definitely recommend it. It has great action sequences. It has this one sequence where a guy jumps. I don't know if they're like in a mall or something, but they're like in a third floor. And I think it's like in a mall. And he jumps trying to get away from Billy D onto this giant Christmas tree, or this giant tree that's in the middle of the mall. It looks like a real stunt sequence. And Billy D jumps in the tree as well. And yeah, lots of explosives. Lots of sexy babes. Deadly Illusion. Check it out. It's probably tight white trash adjacent. All right, next up here. I think Mr. Masking Tape Geiger sent me this one. I had no clue this is going to be as good as it turned out, guys. This is one hell of a film. Ex-Cop. Now, when you watch this movie, you start to second guess what you call trash movies. This puts you in check right away and says, I am trash. Those other movies that you're talking about in your videos are trash adjacent, my friend, because this is motherfucking trash. Now, this is, I want to show you guys something. The two companies you have to look out for is PM Entertainment and AIP. And this is an AIP. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? AIP right there in the corner. This is an AIP film, and AIP knows how to do trash, my friends. Now this is from, let me see what year this is. I don't even have the year on this one. So basically in the beginning of this movie, this psychopath, a sociopath character has kidnapped this lady. And I think there's like a car chase or something. They end up in this this boat docking area, and the police come, and there's a shootout. He ends up getting shot. The lady gets away. He goes away to prison. And, oh, I forgot to say, the lady is actually, I think she was playing a stripper or a prostitute. She's actually a reporter who's investigating him. So he swears revenge onto this reporter and the cop, who's like a very like dirty, hairy type of cop. He's really good in this. That guy right there. So he goes to prison, right, and gets off on a technicality. Now, again, he swears revenge on them. So then, once he gets out on the technicality, he immediately starts killing people. Now, in the beginning of this movie, there's no slasher elements at all. He does no slashing, no killing. There's just a kidnapping. You don't see any slashing whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, it kind of turns into a cool slasher film where it's showing great, like, practical effects where he's, like, using a razor on people's arms and faces and stuff, this straight razor. It becomes really trashy. You get to see a lot of nakedness, tiggo bitties, kabunga knockers, slashing going on. And, yeah, this one actually surprised me. This is really good. It is about as low budget as you can get and about as trashy as a film that I've seen in a long time. If you guys like trash, definitely pick up X-Cop. It's a really good flick, man. And, yeah, man, that's about all I can say on that, man. Definitely TWT for sure on that one. All right, last film here. Am I at an hour yet? Yeah, an hour. Every video. I've never done a video under hours. It's insane. All right, another surprise, just like X-Cop. Now, I don't know if you consider this trash or trash adjacent, but I'm telling you, this is one of the biggest surprises I've seen on Laserdisc in a long time. 1984's Kill Point, starring Richard Roundtree and Leo Fong, which I had forgotten. By the way, Leo Fong is in Cage 2, which is a Laserdisc that I need to pick up soon. He plays Tanaka's character from Cage 1, which I do own on Laserdisc. And as it turns out, Leo Fong is a legend in the martial arts B-action films. So looking forward to checking out some more of his movies. This is a 100% a cult classic, guys. I highly recommend this one. Definitely check this one out. The soundtrack is amazing in this. Super ominous soundtrack in this one. Kind of reminds me a little bit of The Sorcerer, William Friedkin's The Sorcerer, in the beginning of that film, where it shows the mob guys, and at the end of that film, when they're going to go in and kill the main character, they start playing that ominous music. That's throughout this film, and so it adds to the tension of the movie. Very like guerrilla style filming in this. You see like bar sequences where people are actually in bars, like real people, and then somehow they'll edit in a conversation between two people in that bar. So it makes it like really seem like you're in a real environment. And so, oh man, ultra low budget shit right here, guys. This probably is considered trash as well. Now, this has two of the best bad guys I've seen in film in a long time. Cameron Mitchell, who's been in tons of shit. By the way, if I remember correctly, Cameron Mitchell, Nemcade will like this, was in Space Mutiny with Reb Brown. Stack Pierce has been in all kinds of blaxploitation films. Cameron Mitchell plays, so basically what happens in this film is this gang robs a National Guard armory and gets all of these assault rifles. So all these assault rifles are on the streets, and Cameron Mitchell's the kingpin, and Stack Pierce's character is, his lead gang guy. So Stack Pierce is selling these guns in the street to gangs and stuff. So all these killings are happening. There's probably more killings in this film than any movie I've ever seen, besides like I don't know, Saving Private Ryan or like a war movie. There's so many kills in this film, where there's one sequence where they send the guys in to kill this other gun runner because they don't want any competition, and he's like eating at a diner, and they say, don't shoot up just the table, shoot up all the kids, women, everybody at every table, kill everybody. And the whole film is like that. There's like no holding back. They kill innocent bystanders left and right in this movie. Stack Pierce's character is so badass and cool in this film. All right, guys, sorry about that. My phone ran out of memory. But yeah, Cameron Mitchell's character, he's this kingpin sociopath. He'll like invite girls to his house, young inspiring actresses and singers, and promise them the world. There's one like uncomfortable scene where this beautiful girl comes into his room. He's got shades on, looking like this villainous character. And he's like, I want you to sing for me. And she's like, no, I don't want to sing. He's like, sing, bitch! Starts yelling at her. Next thing you know, he's slapping her. She's singing all nervous and shit. And then he slaughters her, rapes her, dumps her on the side of the road. You don't see any of this happen. You just hear about it later on. And even Stack Pierce's character, who's a psychopath, is looking at him like, you're one sick fucking individual. And pretty soon they end up going head up. I don't want to give up too much in the story, but this is one of the biggest surprises I've seen from a Laserdisc. Going into it not knowing anything about it, it's pretty shocking how badass it is. Definitely some tight white trash here, guys. Kill Point, check it out. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed me stuttering and stumbling through my words the whole entire video. I will check you guys out in the next video. And yeah, go ahead and spin some lasers. Hopefully you enjoyed some of the recommendations. And I'll talk to you guys later. And peace out! Don't you love my hair? Oh yeah. Styling and profiling.